Everybody, we are back for week 3 of our granny square blanket. This week we are doing a fan stitch. So let's get started. The materials you're going to need are yarn needle, size H hook, that's a 5mm, scissors of course, and we are using size 4 worsted weight yarn. Red Heart Super Saver is a great place to start. I also have, usually you do pull your yarn out from the center. I just could not find it this time. So my husband did make this kind of dirty now spindle that I'm going to be using to help keep the yarn unwinding as we go. So we've got our yarn. We're getting ready to start doing this fan stitch. We're going to be starting with a slip knot. Now if you're not doing a blanket to go with us, this square can be any multiple of 4 in your base chain. We're going to be using 32. So of course don't count this little slip knot here. But we're chaining 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Right, before we start our first row, we are going to chain an additional 2. Now we're ready to get started. This fan stitch is done by alternating rows of chaining and rows of these fans. That's what separates it from a shell stitch. A fan stitch uses a lot more chaining. We've got chains inside of our fans. We've got chains kind of making these loops and spaces. This is really going to add some dynamic texture to our granny square blanket compared to the last 2 weeks. Last week had that surface stitch with the diamond stitch. The first week was pretty simple and plain, just a half double crochet. This is really going to stand out, hopefully a centerpiece of our show here. So our first row after our chain, first row is going to have a single crochet in the second chain from hook. So right here, single crochet. Then you're going to be chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to skip 3 stitches in this base chain and go in the 4th stitch, connecting these with a single crochet. So we went in here, so we're skipping 1, 2, 3, going in the 4th stitch right here. Single crochet, and chain 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're skipping 3 again and going in the 4th stitch to connect these with a single crochet. So we're skipping 1, 2, 3. Here's our 4th. Single crochet, chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if you're having trouble seeing where you're skipping and where you need to be attaching these, you can kind of pull them apart a little bit, or you can kind of see where the curvature of these tops are. Helps me count them anyway. Alright, there's where we're attached. So skip 1. You can even go in each one of these if that helps. 1, 2, 3. Here's number 4. Again, it's something that will come with practice. If you're new to crochet, you'll get the hang of this. More practice. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip 3, go in the fourth one with the single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and here's 4. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you hadn't guessed, we are going to do this all the way along this row. So skip 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip 1, 2, 3. Oop, I must have missed one in there. We're going to go in that last one then. You should have 4. If you have 3, that's okay. We will make it work. Don't take it too seriously. We're here to have fun. Okay. There's that first row on there. You know what? I bet it's here. This looks a little bit longer. That's okay. I'm not going to let it bother me. We're going to keep going. Row 2. Oh, sorry. Before we turn our work, we are going to chain 2. Chain 2. Turn our work over. We're ready for row 2. On top of where that single crochet at the end is, on row 2 you're going to add a double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. Then you're going to actually not go in these chains, you're going to go in this whole loop of chains and do a single crochet. Feels a little funny, especially on this row 2, but the farther up you go, it'll attach in there a little nicer. So we started the row, like I said, we had a double crochet in that stitch. Now we're doing a single crochet in this loop of chains. Now we're going to be inserting the fan stitch, and everywhere, except for that first little one, everywhere that there is this post where we did a single crochet in row 1, that is where we're going to be inserting our fan. And how we're going to be doing our fan stitch is going to be 2 double crochets, a chain, and 2 more double crochets, and those are all going to go inside this stitch. So yarn over, we're going to do a double crochet here, a second double crochet, then we chain 1. Now we're going to do 2 more double crochets in that same stitch. Just keep going in that same spot. 1 and 2. Okay. Now you're going to be putting a single crochet in this loop of chains. So go right in there. Now we're back to the post where we're going to be putting a fan, which was 2 double crochets, a chain, and 2 more double crochets. I like to think this week is going to be somewhat of a break from that tricky stitch last week. So 2 double crochets, a chain, 2 more double crochets. Boy, that diamond stitch was really fun, but it certainly was tricky. Okay, so we did the fan at that post. Now we're going in the loop of chains to do single crochet. Now we're going right back into that post for our fan of 2 double crochets. A chain and 2 more double crochets. Okay, now we're ready to do a single crochet in that loop of chains. Okay. Now back to our fan. Chain and 2 doubles. This should work up really quickly for you this week, and it's not much of a yarn hog, so getting 5 squares done with this stitch should not be a problem for your 1 skein of yarn. Okay, we're ready to do a single crochet in the loop of chains here. Okay, now we're ready for a fan right here. Double crochet, another double crochet, chain, 2 more double crochets, and once you're done with this row, you're just going to be alternating the row with the loop of chains and then the row with the fans. It's just that simple. You'll get it with practice. Okay, we're back to our loop of chains. Time to put in a single crochet. Now another fan goes in the post here. Single crochet. Time for a fan. Okay, at the end of this row, you did put that single crochet in that loop of chains. Now there is 1 stitch here where we started with the single crochet. We are going to end this row with a double crochet. Just like we started this row with a double, we are ending this row with a double crochet. Okay. It's a little curvy. It'll straighten out once we get that next row on there. Okay. So for row 3, you're going to chain 1, turn. You're going to start the row with the single crochet. And then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to be attaching it with a single crochet like you did before, but now that we've got fans, we're going to be attaching it right through here where that chain is in the middle of your fan. So we're going to attach it there with a single crochet. Now chain 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Attach it in the middle of the next fan with the single crochet. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Attach it with a single crochet right in the middle of this fan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Attach it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do this all the way down the row. Okay, we went inside that last fan right here. Okay. So now you notice there's not another fan to go in, but we're going to be going in that first stitch, or I guess the first stitch of your last row. It's the last stitch of the row. It's right above a double crochet. You're going to be putting a single crochet. Okay. So really you're alternating between rows of fans and rows of these chain loops. Okay. So the next row you would do do another fan stitch row. So you'd be chaining 2 when you get ready to do that row. Turn your work, start with a double crochet, then a single crochet in the loop of chains, then a fan where the posts are, and so on and so forth. But since this is just our short little sampler, I'm going to go ahead and tie it off. You are going to continue on row after row, a fan row, a chain row, a fan row, a chain row. You're going to go on and on until you have this nice and squared off. By folding it in a triangle, you can see that it's a nice square shape. Okay. When you do get to your last row, cut yourself a nice long tail, yarn over, pull through, but pinch that loop. Don't let it get tight yet, because to do a knot, you're going to need to go back through that new loop you made with the hook, yarn over and pull through there. Then you're able to pull it tight. You'll have a nice knot. You're going to tuck in your ends. I'm going to go ahead and tuck in my ends on this finished one here. I really prefer using this yarn needle now that I have got one. They're available in metal or plastic. Or if you're like us and running an art studio, you buy them in bulk. We're going to use this yarn needle to camouflage this tail. Hold in that way and go back the way you came, which helps secure that tail from popping back out. You cut it short, tuck in your other end. Kind of brings it inside these stitches, which secures it a little more too. And there you go. There is one square finished of your fan stitch. Now you need 4 more. So like I said, you're making a total of 5, and we're going to add that to the 5 from last week and the 5 from the week before. And we're going to end up crocheting them all together into a complete granny square afghan of all these different patterns.